Hi guys, this is my recap and full analysis of Sister Wives Season 19 episode 25 called He Heals the Brokenhearted. And in this episode, just when you thought, oh, it can't get any sadder, well, I think this is now the saddest Sister Wives episode of all time. In this episode, Kody digs Garrison's grave and somehow they allowed cameras at Garrison's burial. Now, I understand why some people had issues with how the show handled the whole Garrison situation. What I thought we were going to get was like a black screen with writing like, this is in memory of Garrison or this happened. But I was shocked that they allowed cameras at his burial. I felt like it was almost something I shouldn't have seen. You know, that being said, let's get into it. The episode starts and I have no idea where we are, what this house is. I think it could be a family house or an Airbnb. Janelle says that she did text Mary and did text Kody and Robyn. She coordinated a little bit with Christine, but the kids are driving the activities they're going to be doing the whole trip. So basically, she is abstaining herself from the responsibility of like who's invited to what, because although the whole family is in Wyoming for this burial, there are different camps of people and family rifts are still alive and well. So Caleb wants to go fishing while they're there. And so one of the first scenes is Janelle is teaching Axel what to do. There's a comment about how Maddie's daughter Jojo or Josephine is just very busy and hard to handle, just like Maddie's brothers used to be, so Janelle's sons. They go fishing and I don't think it's for everyone, and I don't think everyone's there. I don't see Gabe, Hunter, Logan. It's rainy, but Christine insists on a picture because she feels like she didn't get enough of Garrison. So her new motto now is to capture everything. She's like the family photographer now. And so it is a sweet scene. Janelle recalls that Garrison had asked her for a particular picture of her and him on Christmas, but she couldn't find it. She only found it after his death. And this was the picture. Janelle says that reconciliation with Robyn and Kody hasn't really been happening, but between the kids, some who had differences of opinion, I mean, that's putting it lightly, have mended their issues, which is positive, but no specifics, so we're kind of left wondering, like, who is she talking about? I doubt Paedon and Gwen, but maybe. Kody, meanwhile, is going down memory lane, stopping at the ranch where he grew up, and talking about how Garrison actually used to go there every summer, and immediately Kody just gets on this horse with Robyn and trots around. She does not look comfortable on a horse, let me just say, and Robyn says that basically she's turned on by Kody riding a horse and how he takes control. She even roars. Which, like, calm down, Robyn. This is a funeral trip, just saying. Next, Kody and Robyn head to the cemetery where his dad, Win, and Janelle's mom are buried. He says that this area is very nostalgic, but he doesn't want to live there. And so, makes note to say that. Why, though? Too small? Like, why would... I mean, I don't know. He calls it home and where his roots are, but he doesn't want to live there. He says bringing Garrison home is like finishing the circle for him, and it's just very important to him at this point. And oh dear, we see him in the next scene. I don't know what to expect, but he's pulling up to the cemetery with buckets and shovels, and I realize that he's actually going to dig the grave on camera, which is something that apparently means a lot to him, but could have been done in private. Kody's brother, Scott, joins him and another of Garrison's uncles that Kody says helped Garrison turn into a man or turn into maturity. I did not have grave digging on this episode's bingo card. So Kody says he wants to dig a grave bigger than what he needs for the urn and for the experience. Like, this is some interesting mourning Kody is doing here. Kody doesn't know who has the grave sites next to Garrison, and they cut to Janelle, and it sounds like she may have bought them. without telling Kody, I don't know. She says that she wants to be buried next to him, which makes sense, and her mom is there as well. So they all get to digging, and I'm not sure how they're keeping it together, but the way Janelle actually supports Kody doing this, she thinks it's symbolic and poetic, is a sign of some type of unity happening. They have this big tarp, and this scene is pretty dark, not gonna lie. A lot of comments on Twitter were like, I wish Kody had put this amount of effort before Garrison's death, which, I mean, touche. And I think everyone would have loved if they would have made up and, had a stronger bond before his death. There's nothing worse in my mind, like when someone dies that's close to you and there's like a grudge there or something. And so that's something he's going to keep with him the rest of his life. And I guess this is like his own way of making amends, maybe. Kody remembers that the boys were on a saddle drive at one point on the ranch, and he says the air was so dry, Garrison got a bloody nose and sent him a picture. But that is not the story that Gabe says happened. Gabe chimes in saying he thinks he actually gave him that bloody nose by punching him in the nose because Garrison wouldn't let him on the four-wheeler when he was tired. Funny how two people can just have different versions of a story or something. Kody then pulls out these lawn chairs around the grave after they dug it, and Kody wants to sit around and watch the sunset. He says, sunsets make you acutely aware of the divine. Honestly, this is sweet and dark, and he's like, if you guys have somewhere else to go, you can go, but who in their right mind would not go? Like, would not stay in this moment? Of course the uncles stayed. And I'm shocked in this moment that the cameras are even allowed at the burial, honestly. I did not expect this, but apparently they were allowed just at a distance. I can imagine some family members having different opinions on this. You can see people just wiping their tears, like Paedon, the older boys arriving. Mary says it's one of those moments where you wonder, like, how did we get here? And Janelle says she's just numb. Honestly, full props to Janelle for having, survived the day here. It's a tough one for the whole family. Kody says it's going to be awkward. There's some family that's like bristles at the presence of other family. And we learn that Garrison's urn was built by Mitch, Aspen's husband, which is really sweet. It's like a Viking ship. And so very cute and thoughtful. And one of his uncles, the one doing the service, shows up wearing a full-on Hawaiian outfit because Garrison used to have a business called Bob's Floral. And so he sold Hawaiian shirts. And so that's very thoughtful. I guess the awkward thing about how this is all set up for me is that Robyn, Kody, and their kids are fully on one side and everyone else is on Janelle's side. Logan is the one comforting Janelle at this point. They all take off their shoes and socks to connect with the ground. And I guess the uncle doing the service is just doing such a great job, but poor Janelle in this moment, honestly. Wearing sunglasses, understandably so. Kody says that he wants to say one thing, like as he's putting dirt on Garrison's grave, he says that he had a dream recently of Garrison sitting on his bed telling him that he's still there and to stop listening to sad music and stop with the sadness. And this was probably the saddest scene of all. He says the rest is a fog, and honestly, this is something that I do believe happens. Loved ones can come to you in dreams after they pass, and I thought it was actually nice of Kody to share that. And this part really made me cry because Paedon and Garrison have their military connection. He went over and just put his dog tags on his grave, and I think poor Beer in there. Hunter says a few things about how Garrison was his bunkmate, his arch nemesis, and his first salute he gave as a commissioned officer. And so he gave him his hat and a salute. At this point, I'm crying, of course, and I had to recover from this before making this recap. And I realize I'm recapping a funeral. So similar to Mary's thoughts, how did we get to this? I usually talk about Kody Pass drama, not this stuff. What the heck? I mean, at this point, TLC really is showing what I never thought in a million years would air. Like, I heard, yeah, they had a little ceremony or for like a private one for the family. But so I expected never to see it, you know? And so back at the house, Gabriel does come over. I'm sure some people who didn't want to be filmed didn't go to this house. Anyway, he brought fireworks for the kids, which was really sweet. And they have like a backyard fire and firework. And it seems to be a nice night with the family. Maddie and Leon, who, by the way, had their first like they them intro with their pronouns, talk about how they feel bad for Kody and Robyn's kids and would want to say, you know, sorry if I caused you any hurt to them, but it kind of stops there. I don't think Maddie at this point wants like to fully reconcile. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 25. I'll be back with more recaps and updates. Bye, guys!